Hey everyone, I just want real quick before I got into the video, I just want to say that I recently hit 100 subscribers, which isn't something I even thought I would get to. At least I don't think I was going to get to that fast. So thank you very much if you subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed and you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and do that. Please like the video as well if you do. And thank you very much, and please enjoy this video. Hello everyone. Today we are on the Air Superiority dev server. And I'm going to be going over the F-15 Eagle, which will be coming to the game really soon, probably within the next week or two, which is really exciting. This is something I'm sure a lot of you, as well as myself, have been waiting for a long time, and it's not just incredible to see it's actually in the game. If you didn't already know, there are going to be 3 different variants. There are the F-15A in the US tree. There's going to be the F-15, it's called the Baz in the Israeli tree, and then there's also the F-15J, which is in the Japanese tree. And a lot of these, I'm not sure if the models are done for right now for like the F-15J and stuff, because I think they should be a little bit different. I could be wrong. However, the so yeah, the modeling may change. For right now, they all seem to be copy and pasting from each other. I know like the weight of like the F-15J is supposed to be a little bit heavier. Um, but for right now, they're all pretty much the same. The weapon systems. So all of these get AIM 7Ms, and it gets a pretty good radar. Though unfortunately, in this custom battle I'm in, as you can see in the background, the radars weren't working. They were working perfectly fine in just regular battles. I guess it was something about this custom battle. No radars of any planes were working. I was trying other stuff as well. Like I'll have an SU-27 video out later today, and not that radar wasn't working very well. I tried some other stuff. The radars weren't working well, so don't really use any AIM 7Ms in this video. But the US F-15A gets it gets AIM 9Ms as well. It starts off with 9Ls. It starts off with 2 9Ls stock and get AIM 9Ms. And then I believe all 3 F-15s start off with 2 9Ls stock. And then the Israeli one can go to Python 3s, and then it can go to AIM 9Ms as well. However, what's good about the F-15J is that it can get AAM-3s, which are its domestically produced IR air-to-air missile, which are, just think of an AIM-9M, but better. It has longer range, better flare rejection, it pulls harder, it's 40 Gs. I saw, maybe you'll see some in this video, but I had some incredible shots I never thought that I could see with this thing. It's very good. I mean, you definitely can flare it, but I was here and there. I was hitting some like head-on shots where they were like flaring and um turning off the afterburn and everything. So that'll be really good. It is, unfortunate that it's coming to the game with only AIM 7Ms. We didn't get MHs or anything, though I guess that's possible. It still could come. But it's unfortunate it didn't come with AMRAAMs or anything like that. However, BVBD did say, I believe, that they should be coming, like the Fox 3s should be coming within the first or second update of next year, which leads me to believe that if they are ready, they'll be coming the first update. However, they're not sure if they're going to be ready or not, so we'll have to wait and see. However, and throughout this video, you've seen, and as I'll continue to show you, these have different loadouts. Of course, I've mentioned the missiles differently, but they also have a few air-to-ground loads. I believe the U.S., I think the Israeli one can carry GBU-8s. Could be wrong on the Israeli one. I know the U.S. can. But the Japanese one cannot. All it can carry is dumb bombs, and I think it should be able to carry napalm as well. But that's about it to the air-to-ground ordnance. Of course, the F-15A wasn't meant as a air-to-ground vehicle specifically, But I'll be continuing to show you some gameplay in the background, um, while I just talk about this. And I think, the F-15 will be a pretty good vehicle if you have around 1100, 1200 kilometers an hour, and you're like turning as hard as you can. It will retain its speed. In fact, in a turn like that where I was like turn fighting with someone, I as you can see here, the AM. Okay, it does do some a little bit weird stuff, of course. Since it was still really far away, it started tracking my friendly. Um, but it usually would be able to hit shots like that, even from really far away. I've had it hit like 8 kilometer shots, which is just absolutely insane. But yeah, I think like they're saying when AMRAAMs come. So, okay, so that's another thing. This is at least the U.S. one is an A. However, part of it is an A MSIP, and part of it's not. So a lot of the stuff that makes it like it has flare pods and all that, and some other things that make it the MSI that should make it the MSIP version, but it has like visual differences that don't. So it's really weird. Gaijin likes to do this a lot, where they just kind of mash together versions of a plane, which is a little annoying. So I was talking with a few other people about this last night, and something we were talking about is just whether or not this specific F-15 will get AMRAAMs or not, which honestly, it is 100% up to Gaijin whether they do that or not, because the AMSIP can, in fact, receive AMRAAMs. Now, whether they give it to it or not, so yeah, some of these things lead me to believe it is an MSIP, but a lot of these things, like it has stuff or it doesn't have stuff that it should have for the MSIP version, so it's like it's really weird. Also, with the F-15J, the F-15J should be an F-15C, just for Japan, and it's it looks like an F-15A. It has the turkey feathers and amongst other things. It doesn't have the right radar. Doesn't have I think the right engines either. It's a whole mashup of things. But that's not out of the usual for Gaijin, so here we are. We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. It's a distinct possibility the U.S. gets an F-15C with AMRAAMs, and this thing gets left out, which would be unfortunate. It'll still be a decent plane, but without AMRAAMs, I think that would kind of suck. Also, another thing is that currently while this is at 12.3, it could be getting raised to 12.7 potentially. They did say they were looking at statistics on the dev server, so we'll just have to see how it pans out. I do definitely think the Su-27 should be 12.7. I think the F-15 probably should be as well. And also, I do think that when AMRAAMs and other Fox 3s come, anything besides like Phoenixes, and then like I don't know if we were to get like AIM 47s or something like that or whatever, those should be lower, of course. But any other things on equivalent of AMRAAMs are 77s, PL12s, and the such. Those should probably, in my opinion, not be lower than 12.7, if not 13.0. Because at 11 or at 12.3, um, you're gonna be facing stuff at 11.3. You're gonna be facing Phantoms at that point, and those Phantoms against Fox 3 missiles like that are just, it's not going to go well. But of course, also, if you have this is going to be a whole thing, of course, and I hope we start like actually reducing the player count in a match, because if you let's say you have a full team of Su-27s, that's 160 missiles from that one team. And the F-15, it fortunately gets 240 countermeasures, which is very nice. Um, and you don't usually have to worry about like running out of them. In fact, you can like dump them quite a bit when you are like, especially for AIM 9Ms. If you just like dump a bunch and then start like turning, and then turn like different directions, you usually be pretty good. So, but you need a lot of flares for that, And fortunately, if you're taking mixed, you have 120 flares, so you have 60 drops of flares, which is really good. And if for whatever reason you want to take full flares, which I mean, I guess you could if you're just like sticking to the deck, which fair enough. Um, then you have 120 drops of flares, which is just absolutely insane. Especially for not having any flare pods or anything like that, just built into the aircraft. But overall, I mean, I think this is going to be a very good plane, and it's like I do definitely think the SU-27 is going to be a better plane. Um, it just, I mean, it beats it in BVR. It beats it in it pretty much beats it in a dogfight. Unless you can like survive and bleed the SU-27 of energy, but also like if the SU-27 is on low fuel, it's like when I tell you it's like a UFO kind of flying, it is like I cannot describe to you. Like you'll have to see in my video that I'm gonna have out later today. It is next like you can just throw that thing around at like low speed, low fuel. It is incredible how like f- floaty it feels. It feels like it can just float in the air. And that thing, like you can just like fling yourself around real quick, do a 180, and then just and it's like fire an R-73. It's like I was doing some crazy stuff on it, which of course is really cool. But then versus an F-15, you're just gonna clap it, which is unfortunate. Of course, this F-15 A does not have HMD. Though I think the F-15J should, since it is an F-15C, but I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not the person to ask for that. Um, though even without HMD, it does do pretty well. Um, and as someone who plays a bit of Sim, I definitely think that this and the SU-27 are going to probably dominate Sim. At least until we get AMRAMs, and then stuff will change a little bit around there. Uh, The MiG-29 SMT is definitely going to um, be not the top dog anymore with the SU-27. However, the F-15 will probably do pretty well against the MiG-29, especially in a dogfight, actually, especially against the SMT of all things. Even the first iteration, the MiG-29, 913, 912, it should definitely do pretty well against that. So just be careful when you're dogfighting SU-27s. You don't want to be careful when they have a lot of energy. Um, I mean, if it's earlier in the match and they have higher fuel, that's definitely good because they don't get any drop. The SU-27 doesn't get any drop tanks, so it can't take low fuel and just have a drop tank and then like drop that and then have good dogfight performance. Now, don't get me wrong, even at high fuel, it still has decent performance, but it has significantly better at low fuel. So just make sure you take into account of that. Think of that when you're flying the F-15. The F-15 still has pretty good performance, honestly. I was noticing even if you take the full 3 drop tanks while you're flying around with them on, it still has decent performance. Now, in this video, of course, I'm at like min fuel because there's no fuel burn in this custom. But even at like, I was taking like max fuel and 3 drop tanks to see how it was, and it was still performing pretty well. Also, that is another thing. This thing does in fact, get 3 drop tanks. It gets a centerline tank and then 2 or 1 on each wing for a total of 3. So you can either take the centerline only, the outer 2 only, or all 3 together. You can't just take 1 on one wing and something else on the other. If you put 1 in one slot, it will automatically put the other in the other slot. You cannot take only 1. Which would make sense, because that would be pretty unstable, even if you carried, like, some bombs on the other. Probably wouldn't be exact same weight. But it is really nice. Each drop tank seems to be about, I think it's 12.5 minutes. So you get a total of about 36, or a little bit more, like 38.5 minutes, I think. So it's around 30, yeah, around 38 minutes, I think it is total. And you also just in the tank itself, in the plane itself, if you just take full fuel, you should be getting, I think it's 46 minutes or so. So you should be getting a bit over an hour of dry fuel. And it does not burn fuel that fast on full afterburner. So you could easily afterburn the whole match. Like if you just took a full tank, or honestly, I would tank like 20, maybe 30 minutes of fuel in this thing, and then just take the three tanks, because you can actually drop all three tanks separately. Um, I'm not sure if there's a keybind to drop them all together. Uh, but again, you can just drop them all separately, and then they'll drop the one outer one, and then the other outer one, and then the center one. So you can just take all three, and then like lower fuel, and then just decide to drop them whenever. Which would be benefit, so then you have better dogfight performance. Especially because you're not going to be doing very well against SU-27s and BVR, even MiG-29s, of course. But the SU-27s can carry up to 6 R-2070Rs, and against only 4 AIM-7Ms, you're just not going to do very well. Overall, I do think. I mean, honestly, I'm going to try and wrap up the video real quick. I do think the F-15 is going to be pretty good. Uh, in a dogfight, probably. I'd probably go for the F-16. I mean, this is going to be very good. I just, people, I will say, I saw apparently some other creators were talking about how bad it was. But it also seemed like they were using it incorrectly. I believe you should be using this thing in a two circle. Um, at least against most things. Against an F-16, I think you probably want to use it in a one circle. Uh, at least initially, you want to get in that, you want to get that first turn in and get some shots off. But against most things, you're just gonna wanna like be outrating them. Like the SU-27, of course, has like really high alpha, really good nose authority, but you're just gonna want to be um, doing a two circle with it. Since you'll be able to keep your energy in this thing, especially if you're a bit faster. This thing is incredible at energy retention. But I do think this is gonna be an exciting update. I think it's gonna be way better than the last update. And if you guys are interested in my SU-27 video, I should have that out later today. So please go ahead and check that out. Also, I have a Discord down in the description, so if you guys would like that, uh, please check that out. And if you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe.